All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do our daily Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. We had some really nice movement with the Bitcoin miners. Bitcoin had some sideways movement that we need to take a look at. So I want to go through some charts. Look at some of the indicators. We talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners all the time on this channel. If that is content that you're interested in, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, the number one thing you can do for us is if you would please smash the like button. That helps out both this video and the channel so much, so I appreciate that. Okay, so let's dive into Bitcoin. Let's start out on the Bitcoin big board. I've also got some charts that I put together that we'll get to as well. If we look at the board, we're going to see that with one exception, and as always, there seems to be one or two exceptions. So today, Mawson was red. Other than that, this was a green day for all the Bitcoin miners across the board, and some of them had very green days. There were a few big movers today. A few people had a big move. A few people crossed important lines of resistance. This is really only the second good run we've had in Bitcoin in the year 2022. We had a couple of weeks at the end of March that were really good, and then we fell off a cliff. So this rally is holding on, and I think there's some more room to go, but I want to look at the indicators because there are some that are just absolutely on the brink. I wish they would be a little more definitive. So I want to look at these together with you, and we'll see if they're bullish indicators or if maybe there's going to be a little bit of a pullback. But let's talk about the board. This was today. These are all the Bitcoin miners. So you can see there were some very big movers. I want to point out a couple of things to start off with. You'll see I included Bitcoin on the list. So right here, this gold thing is Bitcoin. It was up 2.3%, and the way I measured that was from the close of the U.S. equity markets yesterday until the close of the U.S. equity markets today, because obviously that's how the Bitcoin miners trade. So I'm matching Bitcoin along with that. So in that period of time, Bitcoin was up 2.3%. And we'll take a look at the Bitcoin chart in detail and see what that looks like in a minute. So you can see there were two things that actually underperformed Bitcoin. Argo blockchain was up 1.4% and Mawson was down 1.4%. Now Mawson seemed like it was maybe having a little bit of a comeback, but Mawson continues to have red days on what are otherwise green days for everybody else. Literally all the other miners today were green other than Mawson. So, 1.4% isn't a disaster, but again, it's another red day. So then you'll see there's a whole grouping here that performed very similar to Bitcoin. So to me, that's underperformance because this is a leverage play. We all know on the way down, we got punished in a leveraged way, right? These stocks all hit 52-week lows, all-time lows. A lot of these got down to, $1. So we saw the big moves to the downside. It's time for the big moves to the upside. So I did call out 3 or 4 stocks at the end of yesterday's video that I thought were due for a run. Some of them did run. IREN was one of them. Some of them did not run because CleanSpark was one of them as well. So you can see very mixed results there. Okay, this is Bitcoin on a 15-minute time frame. So as always, there's an orange line right here. This is where Bitcoin was when the equity markets closed yesterday. That was at $22,944. So we've actually had a bunch of red 15-minute green candles since the market closed. The market closed right here at around 23,470, call it. There were some ups and downs, but not gigantic movement. The real movement was overnight last night at 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. For the next couple of hours, there was a big move to the upside, and we seem to hold that all day today. So that was important. I want to go to the 4-hour chart. That's really the one that's been guiding me the most as far as this relief rally goes, and I'm still calling this a relief rally, and I'm hoping it's not over, but that's what I want to look at. Okay, so you can see, since we had this big dive down to our 2-year low at around 17,600, this has been a series of higher highs and higher lows. So this is the exact definition of a relief rally. This is what we want to see. Now, at some point, you could argue that we're turning back into a bull market, but still, on larger time frames, this still looks like a relief rally inside of a very bearish 8 or 9 months that we've been in. However, I have been saying I do think there's maybe 1 or 2 weeks left of potential in this rally. So it looks like there's still a chance for that. So I want to look at a few of the indicators today. And the first one I'm going to look at is the one that I'm the most worried about. It trailed off a little at the end of the day, and I would have liked to see it in a different place. Okay, so this is the RSI on the 4-hour time frame, and you'll see several days ago, we got to a point where it looked like we were headed down and we needed to press the reset button and get all the way back to oversold on the 4-hour RSI. However, instead of that, we bounced off of this line. We went sideways for a little while, and today we moved back above 50, which that was a very important move. So to that extent, it was a bullish move. This was a big move in the right direction. Getting back over 50 on the 4-hour RSI is good. So what we're hoping is this is just a step along the way to get to the rest of the way up to 70 or above where we're in overbought territory. So, and it's in this area from 50 to 70 where we get most of the upward action on Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin. However, the only thing that has me a little worried is this last 4-hour candle. You can see we're starting to go sideways a little bit. So that can oftentimes happen. That would be just fine. We made a nice move up. This was a big turnaround. So if we're just consolidating a little bit, that's okay. But what I will be looking for over the next 24 hours is we don't want this to turn back down, go under 50, because then I think we do take the rest of this leg down and retest this oversold territory. However, I am still leaning in the same direction. Yesterday I said I'm leaning in the direction that I think we're going to go up, and we did go up quite a bit since then. So I'm still leaning in that direction. I feel like we stand a legitimate shot of running the RSI up to 70 or 75 on the 4-hour time frame, and I think that we could make a very nice move in Bitcoin. I've been targeting that $25,300 line. That's this blue line right here on the chart, if you can see that, at 25,366. That's been my price target for this relief rally all along. We just have not quite gotten there yet, but if we can finish this one leg right here, I think we'll get there. And then we'll have to see what happens from there, because obviously the next price target is 28,800. That was where we were. That was a strong line of support. That was the low of the year for 2021, and that held up for a long time. I don't know if this rally has the legs to get all the way back up to that 28.8 point, but for starters, I'm looking to get to the 25,300. That would be a success in my mind. Obviously, hopefully from there, if the news continues to be good, the market seems to be having a nice rebound, the equity markets, and Bitcoin is certainly moving in the right direction. And the Bitcoin miners, this is some of the best Bitcoin miner action we've had in many months. So another thing that we talked about yesterday is we wanted to see a bullish cross in the MACD on the 4-hour time frame. So we were actually in one of these light red candles when we did the video yesterday, and it looked like we were going to trend towards maybe a bullish crossover. We talked about maybe sometime overnight or in the morning. Well, that's exactly what happened. We did get that bullish crossover. You'll see we're on our third 4-hour candle in the green. So hopefully the last run we had in the green was significant. So what I'm hoping is we stay over 50 on that daily RSI and we can pump this histogram up. There's still an awful lot of room left to the upside. We just got our bullish crossover here on the 4-hour time frame. So that is one of the things, that's one of the boxes we wanted to check. So that happened as well. Okay, so here's Bitcoin on the 1-day time frame. We had another thing we were hoping to do, and again, this is another box we get to check. This yellow line is the 200-week moving average. Bitcoin spent over a month below that. That's the only time that's ever happened in the history of Bitcoin, was just this last month. So we did break on these two giant green candles. We broke above that, and then we had a series of red candles, ending with yesterday's candle. And 2 days ago, we said what we would really like is to finish above this 200-week moving average and hold that line. That would be bullish. And then what we said would be really bullish is if we could then bounce off of this line and put a few green days together in a row. So this green candle today is almost over. So this green candle will open and close above the 200-week moving average, and now it seems like we're trending in the right direction. So, you know, this is exactly as we scripted it. The question is, do we get the next several days to finish this out? All the things that we hoped would happen in the last 24 hours did happen. The one thing that is not quite where I want it to be, the 4-hour RSI is sitting at 52. That is very close to 50, and I really don't want that to break under 50. It would be better if the next 4-hour candle would turn around and start moving up again. So I think this is the biggest thing we have to look at. Where this goes over the next 4 to 8 hours, I think is where Bitcoin's going to go over the next 1 to 2 days. Okay, so I just want to look at two charts in specific. Iris Energy, stock ticker IREN, they had a giant day today. Again, they were up almost 20%. I think it was 19.7%. So I just want to show on their chart, they are now from their low just a little over a month ago, about 1 month and 1 week ago. Iris Energy is now up 65% off of its lows. And again, 20% of that was today. So you can see it did take out, this made a run on July 21st. So that was like 12 days, just almost 2 weeks ago. It did get past that today. So that is a potential good sign. That closed at a new local high, and that could mean there's some more room to the upside. We are now well above 50. We're at 63.77 on the daily RSI for Iris Energy, stock ticker IREN. This could be finishing its journey up to an overbought territory, so there could be some nice room left on this run as well. Again, this is not financial advice. We don't know what's going to happen. We're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. But I just want to point out they did have a gigantic move today, and there's some bullish signals here on Iris Energy. Last one I want to take a look at is Bitfarms, because Bitfarms, at long last, we have been talking for months about this line at $1.50. So Bitcoin has not closed above $1.50 since June 10th. So that was almost 2 months ago. You can see we gapped down, and that was the day that Bitcoin had a big gap down. Since then, Bitcoin did close at $1.50 a couple of times. It has not closed above $1.50, not even $1.51. Bitfarms was up 8% on the day. It was up even higher than that. You can see this candle wick went even a little higher than that throughout the day, but this is the strongest daily candle Bitfarms has had in months. This is a line of resistance that was very strong. So we tested this line of resistance many times. So we'll see if Bitcoin can capitalize on that momentum. Same thing, you'll see 2 days ago we were at 50 on the daily RSI for Bitfarms. Over the last 2 days, we have now moved all the way up to 59 on the daily RSI. So that's right in the middle of the sweet spot. There's lots of room left to run potentially for this one. So again, I'm not recommending you buy this stock or sell this stock. This is not financial advice. You guys got to do your own due diligence, but this is what is going on with Bitfarms. So I'm just going to finish up with Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame, and you'll see we've got just a little green candle here. We're very much inside the same range all day today. We did get as high up as close to 23,600. Looks like 23,577 was our high on the day. It looks like the last candle got down to 23,250, and that was our low. So we've been trading in a tight range. We'll have to see where we go overnight. We're hoping, obviously, the next leg of this is maybe some continued consolidation, and then we make this next move up. So that's what I got for you on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, please, to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell and smash the like button. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.